Today, we are going to explore the 12 critical areas of your life that you must improve in order to unlock the best future possible for yourself. Now, as we dive into this, I want to emphasize the importance of intentionality, because just like how the brain works neuroplasticity, the ability to change and adapt based on our habits, so too can your future be shaped by the choices you make starting right now. We're not talking about superficial temporary fixes. We're going deep into the fundamental aspects of your life, things that, when adjusted and optimized, will set you on a path toward success, fulfillment, and resilience. This is not just about working harder, it's about working smarter. So let's break down these essential areas, and I'll show you how to harness your full potential in 2025 and beyond. Mental health is often underestimated when it comes to personal growth and success, but it is one of the most crucial elements that directly impacts every aspect of your life. Your mental health influences how you think, how you feel, how you act, and ultimately how you perform in your day-to-day activities. It's the foundation upon which you build your resilience, creativity, productivity, and overall sense of fulfillment. Prioritizing mental health isn't just about treating symptoms when they arise, it's about actively taking steps to maintain and strengthen your mental well-being on a consistent basis. The first thing to recognize is that mental health is just as important as physical health. Many people put their physical well-being first, prioritizing fitness, diet, and sleep, but they neglect the mental side of health. However, the mind and body are interconnected, and what affects one often affects the other. When you are mentally stressed, anxious, or overwhelmed, your physical health can deteriorate as well. For example, chronic stress can lead to physical ailments like high blood pressure, fatigue, and even heart disease. On the other hand, a healthy mind helps you maintain clarity, focus, and a sense of purpose, which in turn enhances your ability to make decisions and face challenges effectively. One of the key components of mental health is emotional regulation. Your ability to manage your emotions determines how well you handle stress, how you interact with others, and how you cope with setbacks. It's natural to experience negative emotions, but how you process and respond to them is what truly matters. Emotions like anger, fear, and sadness can be overwhelming, but when you learn to regulate these emotions, you're better equipped to navigate life's challenges without being controlled by them. This requires self-awareness and practice. It means acknowledging your feelings without judgment, understanding their root causes, and finding healthy ways to manage them, such as through deep breathing exercises, meditation, or even journaling. Another essential aspect of prioritizing mental health is seeking support when necessary. In many cultures, there is a stigma attached to seeking help for mental health issues, which can prevent individuals from accessing the support they need. However, reaching out for help, whether through therapy, counseling, or support groups, is a sign of strength, not weakness. Professionals are trained to provide guidance and tools that can help you understand your emotions, thoughts, and behaviors more clearly. Talking to someone who understands can provide new perspectives and coping strategies that may not be immediately obvious to you. Self-care is also an integral part of maintaining good mental health. It's important to set aside time for activities that help you relax and recharge. This could involve hobbies, spending time in nature, practicing mindfulness, or engaging in creative outlets. Self-care isn't selfish, it's a necessary part of ensuring that you have the energy and clarity to tackle your daily responsibilities. Moreover, self-care practices contribute to improved emotional resilience. When you take care of yourself, you are better prepared to manage stress, remain calm under pressure, and handle unexpected difficulties in life. Another critical element is the need for a balanced perspective on life. In our modern world, many individuals find themselves overwhelmed by external pressures, whether from work, social media, or other people's expectations. It's easy to fall into the trap of constant comparison or trying to keep up with others. However, this can cause anxiety and dissatisfaction. Focusing on your personal goals and values rather than external validation is essential for mental well-being. You need to set boundaries, prioritize what truly matters, and not let the noise of the outside world dictate your sense of self-worth. This balance between ambition and contentment is key to feeling grounded and fulfilled. Mental health requires ongoing maintenance. It's not a one-time fix or something that can be ignored for long periods. It requires continuous effort and attention. This means incorporating practices into your life that support mental well-being on a daily basis, such as mindfulness, exercise, getting enough sleep, and maintaining a healthy work-life balance. The more consistently you prioritize your mental health, the more resilient you become in handling life's ups and downs. Consistency is the key to mastering anything in life, whether it's building a successful career, maintaining a healthy lifestyle, or developing strong relationships. Yet, one of the most significant challenges many people face is staying consistent. It's easy to start something with enthusiasm, but it's the ability to maintain that momentum over time that determines success. Consistency doesn't mean perfection, it means showing up every day, doing the work, and not letting obstacles or setbacks derail your progress. The first element of consistency is understanding that it's built on habits. Habits are behaviors we perform automatically without needing to think about them. These behaviors can either be positive or negative. If you have good habits, such as exercising regularly, eating nutritious foods, and maintaining a balanced routine, consistency will come naturally. Conversely, bad habits can undermine your efforts and create a cycle of inconsistency. The key is to be intentional about the habits you form and focus on making small, incremental changes that lead to long-term success. It's about progress, not perfection. Creating consistency in your life requires discipline. Discipline is the ability to push through discomfort and keep going even when you don't feel like it. It's what allows you to show up for yourself and your goals on days when motivation is low. Discipline is what keeps you moving forward when you don't see immediate results or when life gets tough. This means developing a mindset that is focused on long-term results instead of short-term gratification. For example, choosing to work on a goal every day, even for just a few minutes, compounds over time and leads to substantial progress. Discipline is about creating a routine that supports your goals and sticking to it, even when it feels challenging. Accountability is another crucial component of consistency. When you hold yourself accountable, you create a sense of responsibility towards your goals. This means setting clear, measurable objectives and regularly assessing your progress. It's easy to let things slide when there is no one to check in on you, but having someone, a mentor, friend, or even a journal hold you accountable makes a significant difference. You're more likely to stay committed when you know that there is a system in place that will track your efforts and keep you on course. Accountability doesn't only come from others, it also comes from within. Being honest with yourself about your progress and challenges is a key part of maintaining consistency. Another element of consistency is understanding the importance of focus. In a world filled with distractions, maintaining focus on your goals can be difficult. It's easy to get sidetracked by social media, emails, or other people's demands. However, focus is what allows you to make consistent progress toward your desired outcome. When you learn to concentrate your energy and attention on one task at a time, you make it easier to build momentum and avoid the feeling of being overwhelmed. This requires setting boundaries, whether it's limiting your time on social media, saying no to unnecessary commitments, or structuring your day so that you can focus on the most important tasks. The more you focus, the more consistent you become. One of the most powerful aspects of consistency is its compounding effect. When you consistently take action toward a goal, even if that action seems small in the moment, the results add up over time. This is the concept of the compound effect, where small, consistent actions build upon each other and lead to extraordinary results. The key is to avoid the all-or-nothing mindset. It's not about doing everything perfectly or achieving instant results. It's about showing up every day and doing something that brings you closer to your goal. The compounding effect can work in your favor when you are consistent in your efforts, but it can also work against you if you are consistently neglecting your goals or allowing distractions to take over. It's important to recognize that consistency is not about rigidly sticking to a plan at all costs. Life is unpredictable, and things will inevitably come up that challenge your ability to maintain your routine. However, the difference between someone who is consistent and someone who is not is the ability to adapt. If you miss a workout, skip a day of studying, or fall behind on a project, it's not the end of the world. What matters is getting back on track as quickly as possible. Adaptability and resilience are part of the process of staying consistent. It's about bouncing back and continuing to take action even after setbacks or failures. Consistency is not about never falling off track, it's about how quickly you get back up and continue moving forward. Emotional control is one of the most important skills you can develop if you want to achieve success and maintain a sense of peace and stability in your life. It's easy to think that our emotions are just something that happens to us, that we have no control over them. However, Emotional control is not about suppressing or ignoring your feelings. It's about understanding and managing them in a way that empowers you rather than letting them control you. By learning to control your emotions, you become better equipped to handle the ups and downs of life, make better decisions, and maintain healthy relationships. One of the first steps in gaining emotional control is becoming more self-aware. Self-awareness involves recognizing your emotions as they arise, understanding the triggers that cause them, and identifying the underlying thoughts or beliefs that contribute to those emotions. Often, our emotional reactions are tied to automatic thoughts or past experiences that we may not be consciously aware of. By practicing mindfulness and paying attention to your emotional state, you can start to recognize patterns and understand why you react the way you do. This awareness allows you to pause and make a conscious decision about how to respond rather than reacting impulsively. Once you become more self-aware, the next step is learning how to regulate your emotions. Emotional regulation is about managing the intensity of your emotions, especially in situations where you may feel overwhelmed or triggered. It doesn't mean suppressing your emotions or pretending that you don't feel angry, sad, or frustrated. Instead, it's about taking steps to prevent your emotions from taking over and clouding your judgment. One of the most effective techniques for emotional regulation is deep breathing. When you feel yourself becoming emotionally charged, taking slow, deep breaths can help activate your parasympathetic nervous system, which calms your body and mind. By focusing on your breath, you can create a moment of pause that allows you to regain control over your emotions. Another essential tool for emotional control is developing healthy coping strategies. Everyone experiences negative emotions, but how we cope with them makes a big difference in our overall emotional well-being. When we don't have healthy coping mechanisms, we may resort to unhealthy behaviors, such as lashing out at others, overeating, or withdrawing from people. It's important to find constructive ways to deal with your emotions, such as through physical exercise, journaling, talking to a trusted friend, or engaging in creative outlets like art or music. These activities allow you to express your emotions in a safe and healthy way, which helps you process them rather than bottle them up. In addition to coping strategies, it's important to practice emotional detachment. Emotional detachment doesn't mean disconnecting from your feelings or becoming indifferent to the world around you. Instead, it's about learning to separate your emotions from the situation at hand so that you can respond in a calm and rational manner. For example, if someone insults you or criticizes your work, emotional detachment allows you to step back and avoid reacting defensively. You can acknowledge your feelings, anger, hurt, frustration, but choose not to let those feelings dictate your actions. This creates space for you to respond thoughtfully rather than impulsively. Another important aspect of emotional control is recognizing when to take a step back. There are times when emotions can cloud your judgment, making it difficult to think clearly or make objective decisions. In these moments, it's crucial to give yourself permission to take a break. Whether it's stepping away from a difficult conversation, taking a walk to clear your mind, or simply taking a few minutes to breathe and regain your composure, this pause can help you approach the situation with a clearer, calmer mindset. Taking a step back allows you to regain control over your emotions, which in turn helps you make better decisions and maintain healthier interactions with others. It's also important to remember that emotional control is not about being perfect or suppressing all negative emotions. It's about finding balance and learning to manage your emotions in a way that serves you. Emotions are a natural and necessary part of the human experience. They give us valuable information about our needs, desires, and boundaries. The goal is not to eliminate emotions, but to develop the ability to respond to them in a healthy and constructive way. Emotional control empowers you to stay grounded, make decisions with clarity, and maintain a sense of peace and emotional resilience, no matter what life throws your way. A growth mindset is the belief that your abilities, intelligence, and talents can be developed through dedication, hard work, and learning from experiences. It contrasts with a fixed mindset, which believes that abilities are static and unchangeable. Adopting a growth mindset is one of the most powerful shifts you can make to create the future you desire. It not only affects your approach to challenges, but also your ability to overcome adversity, pursue new opportunities, and continuously improve in every aspect of life. The first step in cultivating a growth mindset is understanding that challenges are opportunities for growth. People with a fixed mindset tend to avoid challenges because they fear failure or believe they aren't capable of succeeding. On the other hand, those with a growth mindset embrace challenges, viewing them as a way to learn and improve. Every obstacle you encounter is a chance to develop new skills, broaden your understanding, and strengthen your resilience. When you adopt this perspective, failure no longer becomes something to fear. Instead, it becomes an integral part of the process, a stepping stone that leads you closer to success. Another key component of a growth mindset is the willingness to put in effort. Success is rarely the result of innate talent alone. It's the result of consistent, focused effort over time. When you approach tasks with the belief that effort leads to improvement, you are more likely to put in the necessary work and persist through challenges. Whether you're learning a new skill, building a business, or trying to improve your health, your dedication and commitment will determine how far you can go. Those with a growth mindset understand that mastery comes with practice, and they are willing to invest the time and energy needed to develop their abilities. Mistakes and setbacks are inevitable, but they should not deter you from pursuing your goals. A growth mindset teaches you to view setbacks as valuable feedback. When something doesn't go as planned, instead of becoming discouraged or blaming yourself, you take a step back and assess what went wrong. This reflection helps you identify areas for improvement and adjust your approach moving forward. People with a growth mindset know that mistakes are part of the learning process and that they provide critical insights into what needs to be changed or refined. Embracing failure as feedback rather than as an endpoint allows you to stay motivated and keep progressing toward your goals. Learning is a lifelong process, and people with a growth mindset are constantly seeking new knowledge and experiences. Rather than resting on their laurels, they are always looking for ways to expand their understanding and skills. This mindset fosters curiosity and a love for learning. It encourages individuals to seek out new challenges, learn from experts, and pursue areas of interest that may seem outside of their comfort zone. By continually expanding your knowledge base, you create more opportunities for personal and professional growth. The more you learn, the more confident and capable you become, which in turn fuels your desire to keep pushing forward. Feedback is another essential aspect of developing a growth mindset. People with a fixed mindset tend to shy away from feedback, seeing it as criticism or a reflection of their inadequacy. In contrast, those with a growth mindset actively seek out feedback, knowing that it is one of the most effective ways to improve. Constructive feedback provides valuable insights into how you can enhance your performance and achieve your goals more efficiently. Rather than taking feedback personally, individuals with a growth mindset view it as an opportunity to grow and refine their approach. By embracing feedback, you open yourself up to continuous improvement and greater success. Finally, a growth mindset is closely tied to self-belief. It's about having the confidence to pursue your goals even when the path ahead is uncertain. When you believe that you can learn and grow, you are more likely to take action, face challenges head-on, and persevere in the face of adversity. This self-belief doesn't mean that you think you know everything or that success is guaranteed. Instead, it means trusting that with effort and persistence, you will be able to figure things out and continue moving forward. This belief in your ability to develop and improve is what drives you to take risks, try new things, and push yourself beyond your comfort zone. Adopting a growth mindset can fundamentally change the way you approach life. It shifts your focus from seeing challenges as insurmountable obstacles to viewing them as opportunities for growth and self-improvement. It encourages you to embrace effort, learn from setbacks, seek feedback, and continually expand your knowledge. By cultivating a growth mindset, you lay the foundation for ongoing success, personal development, and resilience in all areas of life. Self-discipline is one of the most powerful traits you can cultivate if you want to achieve long-term success and personal growth. It's the ability to control your actions, emotions, and behaviors in the face of temptations and impulses, enabling you to focus on what truly matters and stay committed to your goals. Without self-discipline, it's easy to get sidetracked, give in to distractions, and fall short of your potential. Self-discipline is about making choices that align with your values and long-term objectives, even when it's difficult or inconvenient. It's the foundation that allows you to consistently take the right actions day in and day out, regardless of external circumstances. One of the first steps in developing self-discipline is creating a clear vision of what you want to achieve. Without a compelling vision, it's easy to lose sight of your goals and get caught up in the short-term gratification that distracts you from your bigger objectives. When you have a clear and compelling vision, you have a reason to stay disciplined and focused. This vision serves as a guiding light, helping you navigate through the challenges and temptations that come your way. It's important to regularly remind yourself of why you're working toward a specific goal and to keep your vision in the forefront of your mind. The more vivid and meaningful your vision, the easier it will be to stay disciplined. Another crucial component of self-discipline is setting specific and achievable goals. When you set clear goals, you create a roadmap for success. It's easy to become overwhelmed when your objectives feel too big or undefined. By breaking down your larger goals into smaller, manageable tasks, you can maintain a sense of progress and stay motivated. Each small step forward reinforces your commitment to the bigger picture, and the satisfaction of completing each task builds momentum. Setting specific deadlines for these tasks also helps create a sense of urgency and accountability, which in turn strengthens your self-discipline. Time management is an essential skill that directly supports self-discipline. Effective time management allows you to allocate your resources, your time, energy, and focus toward the things that matter most. When you manage your time well, you avoid wasting precious hours on activities that don't contribute to your long-term success. One of the best ways to improve time management is by prioritizing tasks based on their importance and impact. It's easy to get caught up in trivial tasks or distractions, but focusing on what truly moves the needle will help you stay disciplined and make meaningful progress. Scheduling your time in advance and sticking to your plans also helps create a routine that reinforces discipline. Another powerful way to cultivate self-discipline is by creating habits that support your goals. Habits are the behaviors that you perform automatically without thinking, and they can either help or hinder your progress. The key to self-discipline is replacing bad habits with good ones that align with your objectives. For example, if your goal is to get in shape, developing the habit of exercising every day will make it easier to stay disciplined in your efforts. It's important to start small when building new habits, as trying to overhaul your entire life at once can be overwhelming. Focus on making one small change at a time and gradually build up to more challenging habits as you strengthen your self-discipline. One of the most significant obstacles to self-discipline is the temptation to procrastinate. Procrastination is the enemy of progress, and it can be a major roadblock on the path to achieving your goals. To overcome procrastination, it's essential to develop strategies that help you take immediate action. One effective technique is the 2-minute rule, which involves committing to work on a task for just 2 minutes. Often the hardest part is getting started, and once you begin, you'll find it easier to continue. Another useful strategy is breaking tasks into smaller, less intimidating steps, which makes them feel more manageable and less overwhelming. By addressing procrastination head-on, you can build the self-discipline needed to stay focused and productive. In addition to these strategies, it's important to cultivate resilience. Self-discipline is not about avoiding failure. It's about being able to bounce back from setbacks and continue working toward your goals, no matter how many times you stumble. Developing resilience requires you to stay positive, even in the face of adversity, and to view challenges as opportunities for growth. When you face difficulties, instead of giving up, take them as lessons and find ways to adjust your approach. Resilience helps you stay committed to your goals, even when the going gets tough. Finally, self-discipline requires a deep sense of accountability. When you are accountable to yourself, you are more likely to stay disciplined and follow through on your commitments. This means being honest with yourself about your progress, tracking your actions, and taking responsibility for your results. You can also increase your accountability by sharing your goals with others or working with a mentor or coach who can offer guidance and support. The more accountable you are to yourself and others, the more likely you are to stay on track and maintain your discipline. Self-discipline is a lifelong practice, but with consistency and dedication, it becomes easier over time. It's about making intentional choices that align with your long-term goals and staying committed to them, even when it's difficult. By creating a clear vision, setting achievable goals, managing your time, building positive habits, overcoming procrastination, cultivating resilience, and holding yourself accountable, you can develop the self-discipline needed to succeed in any area of your life. The ability to control your emotions is crucial for achieving personal success and maintaining healthy relationships. Emotional regulation is the process of managing and responding to your emotional experiences in a way that is appropriate and conducive to your well-being. It involves understanding and acknowledging your feelings, learning how to process them effectively, and choosing how to respond to them rather than reacting impulsively. By mastering emotional control, you are better equipped to handle life's challenges, make informed decisions, and avoid being overwhelmed by negative emotions. This skill is not something you are born with, but rather something you can develop through practice, self-awareness, and intentional effort. One of the first steps in emotional control is self-awareness. Being aware of your emotions is the foundation for emotional regulation. Many people go through life without fully acknowledging how they feel, which can lead to unchecked emotional reactions. By paying attention to your emotions in real time, you become more attuned to what triggers certain feelings and how they affect your thoughts and actions. This awareness allows you to pause before reacting and gives you the opportunity to choose a more measured response. For instance, when you feel angry, rather than reacting immediately with harsh words or actions, you can take a moment to identify the source of your anger and evaluate whether your response will be productive or destructive. By becoming more mindful of your emotions, you can take control rather than letting your emotions control you. Once you have developed self-awareness, it's important to understand that emotions are not inherently good or bad. They are simply signals that provide information about your internal state and external environment. Emotions like anger, sadness, and fear often carry valuable messages about your needs, desires, and boundaries. However, it's how you choose to interpret and respond to these emotions that determines whether they lead to positive or negative outcomes. For example, anger might signal that something is unfair or that a boundary has been crossed, while sadness might indicate a need for support or a loss that requires healing. By reframing your emotions in this way, you can use them as guides to make thoughtful decisions rather than allowing them to dictate your actions impulsively. Another critical component of emotional control is learning how to regulate your physiological responses to emotions. When you experience strong emotions, your body undergoes a physical reaction. Your heart rate may increase, your muscles may tense, and you may experience a sense of urgency or restlessness. These physiological responses are often automatic, but with practice, you can learn to manage them effectively. Techniques such as deep breathing, meditation, and progressive muscle relaxation can help calm your body's physical response to stress or anxiety. By controlling your physical reactions, you can create a sense of calm that allows you to think more clearly and make better decisions in emotionally charged situations. In addition to physical regulation, cognitive strategies also play a significant role in emotional control. Your thoughts influence how you feel, and by changing your thought patterns, you can change your emotional responses. One effective strategy is cognitive reframing, which involves looking at a situation from a different perspective in order to change your emotional response. For example, if you are feeling anxious about a presentation, reframing your thoughts might involve focusing on the opportunity to share your ideas rather than fearing judgment. By challenging negative or unproductive thoughts and replacing them with more balanced or optimistic ones, you can shift your emotional state in a more positive direction. This cognitive shift helps prevent emotional overwhelm and enables you to approach situations with a clearer mindset. Another strategy for emotional control is setting healthy boundaries. Often, people struggle with emotions because they have difficulty saying no or asserting their needs. By learning to set clear boundaries, you take control of situations that may otherwise overwhelm you emotionally. Healthy boundaries protect your emotional well-being and ensure that you are not overburdened by the demands of others. For instance, if you are feeling emotionally drained, it's okay to decline an invitation or request for help in order to protect your energy. Setting boundaries also helps prevent resentment and frustration from building up over time, as you are able to express your limits in a respectful and clear manner. Emotional control is not about suppressing your emotions or pretending you don't feel certain things. It's about acknowledging your emotions and choosing how to express them in a healthy, productive way. Suppressing emotions can lead to emotional buildup and eventual outbursts, while expressing emotions in an uncontrolled manner can damage relationships and harm your reputation. The goal is to find balance where you can express yourself authentically while maintaining emotional regulation. This balance allows you to maintain healthier relationships, communicate more effectively, and navigate difficult situations with a sense of composure. Finally, emotional control requires patience and practice. It is not something that happens overnight, and it involves ongoing effort to develop and refine your emotional skills. It's easy to fall back into old patterns of emotional reactivity, especially in stressful situations, but by committing to continuous improvement, you will see progress over time. By embracing self-awareness, reframing negative thoughts, learning to manage physical responses, setting healthy boundaries, and expressing emotions constructively, You will gradually strengthen your ability to control your emotions and live a more balanced, fulfilling life.